Hello everyone, this is Hakaym and welcome back to some more World of Warships, and today, once again, we're taking out the Tier 6 Imperial Japanese battleship, the Fuso. God, I love this ship. This ship is amazing. Now, the reason why I picked out this replay out of all of them, not because of the fantastic gameplay that is going to happen, but rather what's going to happen in chat. And another thing. So, just a few hours ago, I watched a video made by the Mighty Jingle that showcased the Great Britain battleship, the Warspite. And as of today marks the 100th anniversary of the battle at Jutland between the British Navy and the German Navy. And his video pretty much, like I said, showcased off the Warspite. And the Warspite is supposedly a very tough nut to crack. And I think as he described it, it's as tough as old boots. So, we'll see how that goes. And, well, there is a Warspite. Now, do keep in mind of this Warspite, he is going to become important a lot later. And I'm going to try my luck at hitting him now. And as you will see, my very first salvo I missed completely. Now in my defense, I just came back from playing high tier battleship games. And battleships at high tier can do a good 25 to 30 knots, depending on which battleship you go with. And I just misjudged on the timing, or misjudged on the lead, so that's why all my shots missed. But also keep in mind that I missed a slow-moving battleship. It's going to be important later, as you will see. So instead, I try my luck on this New Mexico, hit his superstructure, only caused a measly 1,000 points of damage. Nothing to write home about. But fortunately, that frigate got taken out. I think it was a frigate. No, it was a Nevny got taken out. And our Islaslav is already dead, which is unfortunate. And now I'm trying my luck against this Cleveland, and I don't think we're going to be that lucky. I think 2 shells hit and only caused 2,000 points of damage. So once again, I'm not always landing on mark. And it is important for what I'm saying. So, I'm going to try my luck against this more broadside Warspite. And I don't take into account that he is turning away. So, all my shots are going to miss. Great. Now, you might be wondering why I'm really pointing out that I'm missing. It's just because what's going to happen later in this video. Just keep in mind. So, instead, now we see a Cleveland who is starting to turn and lead him enough, and if you're good enough, you can always hit a turning cruiser because you can predict where they're going to be. And he goes invisible, drops off radar, and we get a good Citadel on 6 hits. Let's see how much damage we actually did. A good 20,000 points of damage. I will most definitely take that. That is very nice. So, the New Mexico's in range. Or better yet, we are in range of that New Mexico. Don't think he really liked us hitting that Cleveland. So, he fires at us, but most of his shells completely miss. Now, you might be wondering why, or if you're paying attention to my speed and the way I'm moving, I'm slowing down and speeding back up. And changing directions. Like you're supposed to do. Once again, you're probably going to figure out, oh, okay, he has a point to this. So, this New Mexico decides to show a good broadside to us, and we don't get a Citadel, but we do a lot of damage to him. But in return, he Citadels us. Great. But that's the Fuso's armor for you. It's not as thick in the Citadel areas as in New Mexico. But because of that, we can at least still cause decent damage. So the Warspite decides to show us more of a broadside, and he's gonna get punished for that. 6,000 and 11,000 for a Citadel, and knocked out his engine. Very, very nice. And that's what I'm saying. Even the Warspite can get Citadel. I'm not saying that's what the Mighty Jingle said, but yeah, the Warspite is just as easy to get Citadel. So the Nuremberg thought he got away, but I'm really sorry, Nuremberg, but your time is up. Honestly, it doesn't really matter. So get a Citadel, get our very first kill of the game, which is always superb. And this New Mexico is trying his best. And Warspite has fired, but I've already turned in. And I think majority of his shots are going to miss, which is always good. But our shots are not going to miss. Another Citadel. 6 hits, caused 20,000 points of damage. He is very low on health, and just took another hit from our ally New Mexico, who is right behind us. So I don't think he's particularly happy losing that much health that quickly. So once again, I open fire and he's turning away, and we get only one hit. So close to dying, but most of his shots miss because I turned in again and was able to avoid the majority of his salvo. Do not want to show off a broadside. Showing off a broadside means Citadels. And this Warspite is just so low on health that 2 shells should be able to kill him. And yep, there goes the Warspite. So you might be wondering, why did I really point out that Warspite? Nothing particularly happened besides him getting Citadel multiple times. Nothing really exciting. Just keep watching. It'll happen. So right now, turned our attention on the fleeing, retreating New Mexico, while at the same time we're getting our sides scraped up. You're scraping up the paint there, Farragut. Have to go and get a new paint job. But unfortunately, since he is retreating, he is fairly well angled against us, which means our 14-inch shells aren't gonna be able to really do much damage. Don't think we're gonna be able to do anything about him, so we're instead gonna move over to B, and that was my plan. Go to B and try to cap B. But at the same time, I don't really want to show broadside to the New Mexico, because he is definitely focused on me almost at all times, and I think the salvo's coming in is not going to be a good salvo. Nope. Hits our very back turret, and unfortunately for us, his last salvo destroys our very back turret, which is very annoying because there goes a 6 of our firepower. But, oh well, there's not much you can do. So, since that New Mexico is so well angled, might as well switch over to the west side and focus on this Karlsruhe or this New Mexico. And here's the salty Warspite captain. If you can read it, I'll report Hakaym _92 for botting. Never missed, constantly changing direction and speed. Even able to hit perfectly while not detected. Okay. Considering my very first salvos missed, constantly changing speed and direction is kind of part of the game, and I'm assuming he means when, like, enemy targets are invisible, which that Cleveland, I don't know what he's exactly referencing. You can still fire when the ship is visible, and your shells will still hit if the ship becomes undetectable. Don't know why that matters. We do get a nice Citadel on that Karlsruhe. But I guess at least some of my teammates are standing up for me, pointing out that it's just, you know, actual good gameplay, good game mechanics that I'm taking advantage of. That kind of sounded wrong. Basically, I'm playing the game the way it's supposed to be played. And I guess I should take that as a compliment, because that means I'm actually playing really good, that he considers me a bot, and that I outplayed him. I'll take that. So, that's pretty much all for this video. I just thought it was hilarious how salty this guy became because of me telling him multiple times. But anyways, I'm going to end this video off here. If you like what you saw, hit the like and subscribe button. You guys have a great day. Zaijen. Ooh, high caliber and Confederate.